Hello everyone, I'm Krasi and this is my week for the 12 ascendants. I will just give you a brief overview and then you can see, then I will talk sign per sign and you will see also the time stamps under this video for each ascendant. Of course, I am talking from sidereal point of view, which is astronomical. So what is happening on the sky this week, starting from Monday 28, is that Mars is preparing to become visible. So even though he's not directly visible this week, in 5 days he will be visible. So he is already quite powerful, quite influential, and he's in the sign of Virgo. So people who are ruled by Mars, who would have Aries ascendant, or in general who are having powerful Mars, depends how Mars is placed in the chart. He can be very harmonious or not harmonious, of course, but still Mars will be influencing each one of us. Some can feel a bit too Martian, even too maybe aggressive, maybe angry. Others can have this healthy ambition to create something or to get into something new. So Mars is certainly working on our minds because he's in the sign of Virgo, and especially people who have Virgo rising, Virgo moon, Virgo sun, and Mars in Virgo, or who have Martian sign ruling them, will feel the heliacal rise of Mars. This is very important for this week. We can hear this also on mundane level for people who have bad Mars, badly placed, detriment or afflicted, or they may really we may hear some not very pleasant events happening in the world. Most of them will be, of course, having the Martian war-like, hostility-like character. So this is important to say. And also, when Mars is preparing to become visible, we also should be a bit careful, because you will see often events like accidents are possible. Of course are possible, but not when we are careful, well prepared. So just we need to watch out, especially because on Monday, Mars is having exact square with Saturn. And Saturn is with Pluto, with Ketu, and this is not to underestimate. So this week in particular, it's a bit tense. It is really good to be on the safe side. Really, this is like a good warning. Now, the very fine thing is that in the same moment, Venus, which is also just born from the rays of the sun, very powerful, very good, Venus is creating harmonious aspect to Saturn. Venus is watching towards Saturn, and this is softening a little bit, but still it is really good to be very cautious, to drive carefully, not to take risks. This is really valid for the whole week. It's good to take this into consideration. And during this week, Jupiter sidereally is still staying in the sign of Scorpio. He will enter soon Sagittarius, but not yet. So this is about like my brief overview. I have also detailed monthly prognosis. I'm also talking in another video about precisely about Mars and his heliacal rise and what is he bringing. But keep in mind that this exact square is a bit tricky, and we need to be careful and not to take absolutely any risk. And this is basically valid for each one of us. So this is my overview, and now I will be telling you about the first sign of Aries. And yes, the Martian influences for Aries, of course, are very, very important, because Mars is ruling your ascendant, and Mars is very much representing you, and Mars is in your 6th house, and therefore this particular rise of Mars can create some kinds of hostilities, disharmonies in your routine environment. Also, could be that it is good that you stay away from conflicts and be careful for your health. The week is not appropriate to travel for you. The week is also not very appropriate for negotiations for you. The week is good because of the presence of Venus still in the last degrees of your descendant. It's good, you know, to find harmony at home with your partners and not to do risky stuff at all. Such is this week with this heliacal rise of Mars. The week can be fine to have good relationship or to fix relationship with partners. Not good for new beginnings. Not good for negotiations. And take good care of your health. Don't take risks, and I'm sure you will be on the safe side. This is just 1 week like that. And then let's look at the ascendant Taurus. Now for you, Venus this week will enter your descendant where she is detriment, but still she is going to be in the place together with Mercury of your relationships, and Jupiter. Yes, she's also seeing Jupiter, Mercury, and in the sign of Scorpio on your descendant. Actually, this is very good because this is going to influence your relationship, your private life for good. This is also going to influence your personality, giving you maybe a hope, giving you good feeling, giving you this sense of lucky, good feeling and lucky opportunities with partners, with partnerships, with agreements, with friends. So this can be something very good. Now, because anyway, Mars is becoming visible on your 5th house, will be good that you are a bit watching for your children, and your love life can also become a bit too intense. So that is where you may be a bit cautious. But otherwise, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter on your 7th house will be serving you very good and will create very good opportunities from your partners or from partnerships or just lucky opportunities. So this was for ascendant Taurus, and now we are looking at Gemini. Now for you, Mars is becoming visible on your 4th house and is squaring basically the chart a bit, creating some tension. And therefore, I would advise this week that you're particularly careful at home, at work, with partnerships. The week is a bit tense. Yes, Venus is watching, and Venus is entering your 6th house with Mercury and with Jupiter, and this is fine. This will be supporting your health. This will be supporting your relationship with subordinates, your routine work environment. But still, Mars and Saturn are having a square, creating with Rahu, Ketu. It's a quite tense square formed by these planets. Therefore, this is a week not very appropriate to negotiate, to travel. Wait until this moment passes. Mars is very tense, very much working on our mental status, being in Virgo. Therefore, is appropriate just to stay on the safe side. Concentrate more in the routine, because that is where your luck will be this week, like the everyday duties, without taking new initiatives of travel and negotiations, and this will pass soon. This was for ascendant Gemini. Now we're looking at Cancer. Now for you, the heliacal rise, the first visibility of Mars is happening on your 3rd house, aspecting your ascendant, aspecting your descendant, and Venus is entering your 5th together with Mercury and Jupiter. So the week may not be very, very appropriate for you to travel and negotiate, and could be that there will be some tension or disharmonies appearing between you and your siblings. Could be that you're having some disharmonies related to some studies. But the good thing is that Venus and Mercury and Jupiter on your 5th house are watching to create lucky environment when it comes to creative studies, work of creativity, a relationship with children, pleasure, lucky opportunities for finances. So the week is okay. Just be a little bit cautious with your routine environment, subordinates, siblings. This week is not appropriate to travel and negotiate, and not so much appropriate for new beginnings. This was for Ascendant Cancer. And now we're looking at Leo rising, Leo ascendant. For you, the heliacal appearance of Mars is happening on your second house, which can influence a bit the way you're making money or your relationships with family members, family roots, family members. There you may have some disharmonies, possible hostilities. There you may need to be diplomatic. On the other hand, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter are meeting in your fourth house, which is good for your home. This is supporting your home environment very much, very good. This is supporting also your work and career. Still be attentive with children this week also, and this week especially because Mars is creating a square towards Saturn in your fifth house. This week is not very appropriate for negotiation and travel and new beginnings, but is appropriate for just doing your routine things, giving attention at home, because that is where your luck is, where your luck lies this week. Home, at work, I think that you will not have any problems, but just the Mars and Saturn aspect are such that we need to be careful when traveling, when negotiating, and if you have some issues with family members, use your intuition, diplomatic skills, and you will be okay. Okay, this was for Leo ascendant, and now we're looking at Virgo ascendant. Now for you, Mars is becoming visible on your ascendant, and he's ruling your third house. He's also ruling your eighth house. It is a bit so that he may bring a bit of disharmony or a bit of impulsiveness. Actually, it very much depends how your Mars is placed in your natal chart. It's really very important detail indeed, but still Mars rises heliacally on your ascendant for Virgo ascendants. Therefore, be careful this week. I would avoid traveling and negotiating if I can. Surgical interventions and new beginnings I would also avoid if I have your ascendant. However, the week when you're staying on the safe side, the week can be very good for spiritual work, for the third house is quite well activated with Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, which are watching towards your seventh house. So you can have some good opportunities coming from siblings or from partnerships. So the week is not going to be bad for you. Not bad also financially, but just stay on the safe side. Take good care of your health this week. It will pass. It is really a 1 week that is a bit tense, but this is the fact. Your work environment, career-wise, can also be a little bit tense, and that is where you need to be careful not to don't initiate new projects or new negotiations. Wait until this tension passes, and next week will be for sure a bit better, I'm sure. So financially the week is okay. Spiritually you may have really very interesting spiritual experiences for good opportunities to have good relationship with siblings. Also commercially also can be very good. Just stay on the safe side this week. This is for Virgo rising. And now we're looking at Libra rising. For you, your ascendant ruler is leaving your ascendant to enter your second house, Venus, and will meet Mercury and Jupiter on your second house. Wonderful financial opportunities, wonderful opportunities to fix or to improve relationship with family members. Really very good. The sun is on your ascendant also to shine bright and give you energies to create, to design, to work, to have good health. And this is very, very nice. The heliacal rise of Mars on your 12th house is saying that you may need to be a little bit cautious with your health, with relationship with your partner. That is where you may need to give attention to, like if there is some disharmony with your partner, you may need to be loving, diplomatic, intuitive there. Other than that, the week is fine for you. to travel and negotiate for new beginnings? Maybe not exactly. Okay, so this is about Libra rising, the sun on your ascendant, good planets on your second house. The week will be quite lucky for you. And now we are having Scorpio ascendant. Now your ascendant ruler Mars is preparing to become visible this week on your 11th house. And with this, of course, he is influencing you because he's aspecting you, aspecting your ascendant. And he's aspecting you in a sense that you may, because of course Mars is representing you a lot, you may feel this. How exactly you feel this depends very much on each person's chart, but this can make you a bit nervous, or can make you, depends on your chart, or can make you very much to desire to have this energy to do new things. So it can be good, can also be so that you may feel a bit angry or aggressive or impulsive. I'm telling you this so that you are on the safe side, so that if you can, you control a little bit those emotions if they're negative. If they're positive, and you will be drawn towards creating and doing new stuff, then this can be very good. The good thing is that Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter will meet on your ascendant, and this is really wonderful. Wonderful for your own blessing and benefit, for creating financial opportunities, for creating different lucky opportunities, along with the opportunity to have to fix issues if such in your private life. So this is quite lucky, good for your health, good for your luck, but keep in mind that this Martian heliacal rise is influencing directly your personality, and if Mars is not exactly well placed on your natal chart, you may need to work on your emotions. Other than that, you may also expect some disharmonies caused by friends, by people in your direct social circle. But apart from that, the week is very lucky for you also in terms of health. You may travel, you may negotiate. All right, and now we are seeing, you may travel, but 3 days after the beginning of the week, like after, I will tell you when, it will be in the middle of the week, really not the first 3 days of the week. And now we are looking at Ascendant Sagittarius. Now, Ascendant Sagittarius. Now for you, Mars is becoming visible on your 10th house, and from there he's squaring your ascendant and also your descendant. This week is not very harmonious for your career. You may have experienced some hostilities or not very harmonious environment. I would advise this week that you stay really on the safe side. Don't initiate new things. Don't be careful when traveling, careful when negotiating. Just wait until this passes. Because also Venus and Mercury and Jupiter are not aspecting your ascendant to save you. So just, this is tension is for a week only, so don't worry so much, but stay on the safe side. And when you know to stay on the safe side, nothing bad will happen to you. But Mars on the 10th house, aspecting the ascendant, aspecting the descendant, can be influencing the chart a while, like creating these harmonies at work, at home a little bit. So just stay on the safe side, and it is only 1 week to go. And the next week will be much better, when Mars will be at his own place, already visible, and not that unpredictable, and maybe even too emotional. And so stay on the safe side this week. Do your routine work with good organization, with good preparation. Be careful and plan very well your trips if you need to. And the week is not appropriate for surgical interventions for you. Next week will be better. Okay, and now let me see. Capricorn ascendant. Now for you, Mars's preparation for heliacal appearance is happening on your 9th house, where Mars is aspecting your ascendant. And with this, actually this is not bad because Mars loves you and being, because Capricorn is the hidden place of Mars, so it's not bad, but it is saying that it's good to be careful when traveling, when negotiating a while. On the other hand, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter are creating very good opportunities in your social circle, maybe also financial opportunities. The Sun is very good, well placed for you to shine also above your work, to create good work environment and opportunities. So financially, career-wise, the week is very good for you. Only take good care for your health, and it's not necessarily well this week to travel or negotiate or do new beginnings. Just enjoy the routine environment, enjoy the routine work, and you're quite blessed by the presence of all planets. Actually, they work in your interest this week. And now we're looking at Aquarius ascendant for you this week. Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter are appearing on your 10th house, from where they are aspecting your ascendant for good, to create good financial, financial also opportunities, career environment, good. The week may not be, though, very appropriate for negotiations and travel, but it's very good to maintain good career environment. Also, it is good to be a bit cautious also this week and attentive towards children, and financially, career-wise, the week is good. But the week is not appropriate for surgical interventions and not appropriate for new beginnings. However, maintain and enjoy good, maybe very intense, in a good sense, work environment, and also financially the week looks very good for you. And now we're looking at Pisces ascendant. Now for you, very nicely, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter are meeting on your 9th house, and this is very nice because this trio of planets is going to aspect your ascendant for good, to support your spiritual life, to support your connections with people abroad, maybe communication, studies. So this is for good. The one thing that you should be careful is that Mars is becoming visible on your descendant, and there you need to watch. You need to be attentive towards partnerships, people that you love. There may some tension may arise with your partner. Be loving and patient and intuitive. Also, without partnerships and agreements. At work, also there is some possible tension. But the good thing is that you will be on the safe side, since Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury are aspecting very harmonious your ascendant, yourself. So you will be on the safe side, but be diplomatic, be careful at work, don't start new initiatives, be careful when traveling, avoid, if you can, avoid negotiations, avoid surgical interventions, and be patient with partner and with partnerships in general. But still, the good thing is, don't worry, because Venus and Jupiter and Mercury are trining your ascendant for good, but still take the precautions and the measures that I'm proposing you for good, because this will make your week much, much easier to go. Okay, so with this I'm completing with Ascendant Pisces. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this was useful. Timestamps are under this video. If you have questions and comments, you're welcome. If you want to study astrology with me, everything is under this video. So thank you and see you soon.